press on through karma we make. Give us love, give us light. By your power, Lord, give us might. Down through the ages, all saints and sages, shine with your light divine. Throughout the land you reach out your hand, that none should be left behind. May we learn how to give, how to love, oh Lord, how between the banks of pleasure and pain life flows. The current sweeps us to and fro. The current sweeps us to and fro. Through all the good times and amidst the blows, a witness unaffected observes the show. We're not mind or anything known. What we are is just this. We are the children of immortal bliss.
Let's push this. Turn around, push it.
To arise, to awake for the world and our sake, oh children of immortal bliss, awake.
See, last year was the year that we put these nails up. I remember getting a hammer and...
The first year was the worst. I mean, it took me all day to put them up, because you had to put the nails up and everything, every one of them.
And they took down the nails again?
No, some of them though, we got different cabins.
Oh.
Sri Ramakrishna needs to go slightly to your right. Very slightly.
Reading from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna in chapter 33 with various devotees. The date is Sunday, October 26, 1884. This afternoon, many devotees are present in the Master's room at Dakshineshwar. Sri Ramakrishna: God has put you in the world. What can you do about it? Resign everything to Him. Surrender yourself at His feet. Then there will be no more confusion. Then you will realize that it is God who does everything. All depends on the will of Rama.
Cover your ears.
Old-fashioned Indian counting was in 20. All right.
So to build your own.
So here, in many places they used to call it Shanti, 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 peace, peace, peace.
Peace, peace, peace.
And some places in the gospel we find Sri Ramakrishna say Shanti, Shanti, Prashanti.
Lots of series.
Yeah, you have to work a lot today, so eat properly.
Yeah, good hearty breakfast.
Narada is still speaking. The sages went away, and I was left alone. I had a mother, as I told you before. She was a servant, she was ignorant, and she was immensely attached to me, her only child. I knew how foolish it was to love like that, but it was not possible for me to leave her and go away. I was with her in the ashrama where she worked, and waited for the grace of God. The world, my friend, is under the sway of God, and His ways are inscrutable. We see what is happening, but we lose sight of the fact that something else is responsible for the happenings in this world. The actions of man are like those of a puppet. It seems to move on its own accord, but it is not so. It has to move the way the strings are pulled, and the strings are pulled by an expert who is...
One day my mind was soaring along a lighted path. Round me the gods and angels smiled as I sailed past, ascending higher and higher and reaching a lighted ceiling through which my mind did shoot, bursting beyond all limits to the absolute, ascending higher.
As it comes back, it locks.
Association sections are there. They are volunteers. Volunteers will maintain the trail. Nah.
Related condoms? We're going to heaven.
Yeah.
Some of us are already there.
We just need a dog.
We only.
You just missed a dog.
Yeah.
Oh, we could have kept that dog. We're going there. We can see
We
that
already
dog.
reached the heaven.
The name of that dog is Vega.
Vega. Yeah, we met him.
And he obviously didn't come with you.
No, he wanted to go down. He was all wet.
We're almost
Okay,
halfway through.
there is the sitting stone. There is the sitting stone.
I'm not going what?
Swamiji said the top is there.
Climbing in the lap of the the sage above. With a tender voice the child sang out with love, "Come with me." Rising from meditation and with the child in hand, coming to earth and spreading light throughout the land, they lead us higher and
Among the in the religious community, I am talking about sadhus, there are many different kinds of sayings are there. Sometimes they are funny, sometimes they are very serious, but they always give us a kind of a word of wisdom or great message they carry, if you can find out them. Because I grew up as a novice monk, a brahmachari, in an ashram where about 30 monks were there. So many of them used to be very senior. Some would be retired, and then there will be others who are in the middle range, and there are very new. So those who are new, they will always keep quiet and just listen. In the middle of all sorts of groups, when people come for dining or there is some kind of a religious gathering or any other thing, those gatherings, and there, very senior swamis, they will occasionally make many kind of comments, or they will be having fun time, joke, and many different things they will be saying, and they will be very meaningful, and if you listen to them. So one of those such sayings I remember, and there will be the Swami who spoke these words, he made a lot of fun of it, and everybody were laughing, that he who has realized the truth of it, he is enjoying. He who has escaped it and avoided it, he is also very happy. Only those who are caught in the middle, they are suffering. So it is all about living in the religious life. Sometimes it is found that people, they are in a dilemma, or they are confused, or they are finding it a kind of drudgery. It is somehow they are carrying it on, and they are not clear in their head. Because of many different reasons, mostly because this idea or the goal or the purpose or the whole message of spiritual teachings that come to us from many different sources, they are not properly digested. If there are conflicts in people's mind, in spiritual life, if there is this lack of happiness and satisfaction, it is on account of certain conflicts that have been developed in the mind. The conflict is on account of, as I say, the undigested form of many different spiritual teachings and messages. as Swami Vivekananda said very famously that living whole of your life with lots of information making rounds in your head and remaining undigested, that is of no worth, it is meaningless. Instead of that, have some ideas, some message, some teaching. If you can take it and fully absorb it, understand it and live up to it, then you are much more successful. And your life is meaningful.
Okay.
Are the birds in there?
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I see them moving.
Let's do that.
What did Ian do with the binoculars?
Because most all people eat chicken. Yeah. Although Bob and
The topic is glimpses of Swami Brahmananda. And it's when we read his spiritual teachings in Swami Chaitananda's translation, A Guide to Spiritual Life, it seems like all he talked about was God and how to realize God. But Swami Brahmananda was very careful about when and to whom he spoke about the essentials of spiritual life. In fact, some people misunderstood him. They'd come to meet him, they heard he was a holy man, and he'd be cracking jokes and making people laugh and all that sort of thing. And only when he saw that person was ready would he speak to him. So if one of his attendants heard him speaking these words of fire to somebody, he'd say, well, who is he speaking to? Who is Maharaj speaking to? He doesn't talk like that way normally. But in these books, these compilations of these words of fire, it seems like he was always going on like that. It's not the case. So I want to kind of put this in context so that you can see the context in which he lived. So it's glimpses of Swami Brahmananda, different facets of his maturity.
As the planet rotates, the sun appears to rise, warming up the earth and lighting up the skies. As the planet rotates, the sun appears to sink, blue and green and purple, yellow, red and pink. Dance, Shiva, dance, dance, Shiva, dance, 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 Shiva, dance. As the planet rotates, the sun appears to rise. Creatures that are dreaming open up their eyes. looking out the windows of their eyes and ears, chasing their desires, running from their fears. Dance, Shiva, dance, dance, Shiva, dance.
So I will take up the topic, which is the holy name. The holy name, of course, the name of God, and its repetition. This is a practice which is fundamental in our tradition and in nearly every spiritual tradition in the world. It's a deceptively simple practice, deceptively simple. The claim is that it can take us to the goal. It is not merely something, not merely a preliminary practice after which we have to take up some more serious kinds of meditation, or we have to take up the path of jnana or something like that. No, the path, the holy name, can take us to the goal. Sri Ramakrishna gives the beautiful example of a piece of wood sunk under the water, a piece of timber sunk deep underwater, and there's a chain attached to it. And if you are a good swimmer, you grab a hold of that chain, and link by link, link by link, you follow that chain, and even underwater you go on following that chain until you reach the timber. In that way, he likens that to the practice of the name. By taking hold of the name, link by link in the repetition of the name, we come closer and closer until we reach the Lord, until we realize the Lord.
There's a golden thread that ties us all together. There's nobody left out, and that I'm sure of. There's a golden thread that ties us all together. Oh, my mind knows it as truth, and my heart feels it as love.
First 5 verses. So you will have got those books there. Then there will be a reading from the great master of Swami Sharadananji. I will invite Ian to come forward then at that time. At the end of that period, we shall have some talks. First, Swami Mahayogananda will speak on Swami Vivekananda's hymn to the incarnation of the age. Hymns. Then Swami Nishpapananda will speak on the topic the avatar and the realized soul.
The Avatar as a Spiritual Aspirant, Chapter 2. Blessed by the gracious company of the Holy Master, we contemplate his life and character. The more we do so, the more we are overwhelmed by the wonderful coexistence of divine and human characteristics in him. Without seeing him, we could never have understood how it was possible for such contrary aspects to coexist harmoniously in one person. But because we have seen him, we are convinced that he was a Godman.
Anandaji, and my greetings to all of you on this wonderful day of thinking about the avatar, the incarnation of God. How does the divine take human form? And my topic is Swami Vivekananda's hymns to the incarnation of the age. When studying Swami Vivekananda's works, we don't find at first much discussion of Sri Ramakrishna, of his master. And we may first feel that he really didn't touch on Sri Ramakrishna at all. And certainly from the platform, he did not. He would sometimes speak of a sage of India and tell a story of his master. Or he would, only twice he spoke specifically on Sri Ramakrishna. Those two lectures, one in New York and one in London, have been combined into one called My Master, where he talks about the life of Sri Ramakrishna. But the more I have been looking at the works of Swami Vivekananda, the more I find, and I think we will all find, that Swami Vivekananda looked on Sri Ramakrishna as an avatar. Now, it doesn't really mean too much to say so, because we don't really know what avatar is. What does it mean to say someone is an avatar? We think, well, someone like Jesus, someone like Buddha, someone like Krishna. Be a part, in other words, be a part of the play of Sri Ramakrishna. Be a part of the unfolding of his new teaching, of his new dispensation. It's not enough just to meditate on the Lord, but be a part of the massive wheel, the Yuga Chakra that has been set rolling with the advent of Sri Ramakrishna. Thank you very much. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
So while we're changing the cards, if you'd like to stand up and stretch so I don't put you to sleep, please.
Be careful.
I already took care of that. Okay, first wake up, then arise. Good morning, Ramakrishna. Good morning, Christ. Good morning, Buddha. Good morning, Krishna, Sri Krishna. Good morning, Sri Ramachandra. I want to speak about the avatar in a more general sense, in contradistinction or in comparison to the human soul. There are two distinct types of spiritual personalities. There are the towering personalities of Sri Krishna, Lao Tzu, Buddha, Moses, Zoroaster, Christ, Mohammed. And then there are the millions of saints and seers and sages that have realized God now and throughout history. Generally speaking, the spiritual leaders of the first rank belong to three grades. We talked about this before breakfast, those of you who were at waiting for breakfast out there. Prophets, messengers of God, and the incarnations, the avatar. The prophets like Moses or Mohammed are regarded as prophets by their followers. The messengers of God, Lao Tzu and Zoroaster. And the incarnation, Sri Krishna, Christ, Buddha, Sri Ramakrishna, and so on. The avatar. Specific incarnations, but in general, the avatar. Each avatar, in Vivekananda's words, suffers vicarious atonement for every one of us, and also for all that are to come hereafter. There's only one avatar. A human being struggling for freedom follows the path chalked out by the avatar and becomes a realized soul. The avatar, on the other hand, awakens the cosmic kundalini, and the realized soul comes along for the ride. I should probably stop there.
There's cream in the white milk.
some mention that it is nice in the sense that it is perhaps more understandable, easier. But some say that it is hard, very difficult. As we have already heard from Mahayogananda about how Swami Vivekananda, he felt about it. That is very difficult. Sorry Girish Babu, I cannot describe the avatar. Because how shall I know? What do I know about him? That was another expression. It is always so that something which is very mysterious, which is very difficult, will be considered as well understood, very simple and easy by those who have not understood it. And those who are trying harder, and those who are wiser, and those who are knowledgeable, they realize the limitless expanse of that subject matter or the field, which then they clearly say is unfathomable. So this is the point. The point is that the subject matter of incarnation of God is not so simple and easy. And therefore, in spite of a lot has been already spoken this morning, I might still keep going. We think that this has got a regular reason. There is a purpose in this life. The purpose, we understand it is a purpose of growing further, progress. And we realize that there is a goal to achieve. And that goal is, as defined in many different religions, in many different ways. The goal is to go near God, or goal is to realize one's own real nature, or goal is to liberate one's this state of bondage, etc., etc. Many different ways that it has been defined. When we understand that this life has got a purpose and this life has got a goal to achieve, and then we become more aware of our progress or our life. As I mentioned, the life then becomes a meaningful thing. Similarly, all God incarnate is about loving God made easy. You know? When God is given a very mythological form, then it is not made easy. But when God comes in human form, then it is loving God made easy. That same God, again after being made easy, has got many different forms of appearing. It may be in the childhood God, it may be youthful God, it may be very wise, older time God. Same person, he had so many different relationship forms. When the Ramakrishna was growing up as the boy Gadai, he had, people loved him as the boy. When he was growing up as a young man, many people came around him and they loved him like that. Like Mathur Biswas and others. They did not see Sri Ramakrishna as his later time when he was 50 years old. And then at different time, at different age, in different form, in different ideology, he became a lovable object of that time. Either he is dancing and singing, or he is giving a wonderful discourse or advice, or he is just blissfully there. And many different reasons why people loved him. Different people loved him for different reasons. Krishna is not always loved for the same form. He is loved in many different forms. Among Christians also there are many who worship Christ in the lap of Mother Mary, the baby, or young boy Christ. That they love. That is the way they feel more connective. They feel genuine adoration in that form. So, God appears in human form. He has got everything together. My topic was that Avatara, the friend, philosopher and guide. That means that he is the great teacher who comes in a way that is adorable, that is accessible, and that becomes very close to you. That is not who is sitting on the altar all the time. He becomes accessible, he comes close, and then your life as a seeker of truth becomes easy. Until then, many different doubts remain in the head, and there are many obstructions on the way, or even the purpose is not found out in life. When God appears in Avatar or God incarnate, then many of these problems are solved. So I am sure I have taken a lot of time today because I was closer, I had plenty of freedom to keep going. And as I had announced before during breakfast time, that you are allowed to speak until you see somebody fallen flat. So I did not see anybody fallen, so I kept going. So thank you, and this was our end of this program. We shall now...
I face the ghosts my deeds have raised, joy, sorrows and chagrin. I give up hate, I give up love, my worldly thirst is gone. Eternal peace of mind and heart is all that now remains.
Yes, he got the grasshopper. Remember he showed us?
Oh, yeah.
Did you take the grasshopper?
Yeah, I took.
It's all in there. It's all in there.
Can tell you.
Then you realize you have got a wonderful body and mind that you did not know that you had. Now you know.
Yeah.
That you can enjoy seeing things deep below and all and here. So let us see what Nispapananda has to.
Udbodhan Prayer Room, 30th September 1918. In the morning, Mother was peeling fruit for the puja. I was reading a letter from a disciple. The letter was full of pique against God. Mother said in her reply, if you don't call upon God, and indeed many people never even remember him, what does it matter to God? It is your own misfortune. Such is God's Maya. He keeps people ignorant of him, saying, they are happy enough, let it be so. I said, Mother, it is not that these people do not want God. These problems would not have arisen had they not wanted God. But it hurts one's heart when he whom we try to seek as our own evades us. Buddha, Chaitanya Deva, Jesus Christ, did so much for their disciples, always thought of their good. Mother said, so does our Master.